Hi everybody, this is Oxangelone, and today we're going to be looking at the Subtlety Rogue. With the recent buffs and nerfs across all rogue specs, what we knew all the way back in the beta is not the same today. Now the current problem for Subtlety Rogue is that we rely on our shadow dances to do damage, and it is a very punishing spec to play as well, because if you make a mistake trying to refresh your shadow symbols of death or your Nightblade, it's going to be reflected in your shadow dance charges because you'll be forced to use it to correct that mistake. So yeah, Subtlety does great burst, but once you're forced to burn your shadow dance charges to do damage, or trying to keep up with the rest of your raid group, then your DPS just falls off a cliff. Yeah, falls off the cliff. Yeah. So what Blizzard did, in my opinion, what they were trying to do was they increased 15% damage on your Eviscerate and Nightblade, and how I interpret it is that you don't really have to burn your Shadow Dance charges. You can stay afloat using your Nightblade and Eviscerate while you wait for your Shadow Dance to recharge. And usually you want to sit on 2 charges at all times. So without further ado, we'll do a 3-minute fight, and with our major cooldown, and see where our DPS is. So hopefully you can. I think you might have to maximize your screen to see how much DPS I'm doing. Usually I do around 220, but then it just falls to 200 because I eventually burn out my Shadow Dance charges. So let's get started here. You do your symbols of death, mark for death, and we just go ham. And I'm sitting at, my energy is a little bit low, so I'm going to refresh my Nightblade. And then our symbols of death, I'm going to do it right now. Alright, so we're sitting at 268. I'm going to wait. So that requires a lot of patient play, man. I accidentally backstabbed there, which I shouldn't have. That's a mistake. I'm starting to drop off a little bit. I'm gonna probably, yeah, I'm gonna refresh. As you can see, I'm running out of charges. All that, we blew a huge load right there. So I'm gonna vanish. Yeah, see, it's starting to fall off now. And I made like maybe a minor mistake, but I've been keeping, which is I accidentally backstabbed. So that, yeah, so now we kind of dropped to 300. Okay, yeah, see, now my DPS is kind of falling down now, as you can see. And I had everything, I had everything up, so. So it's kind of very volatile. And I didn't really I didn't make too many rotational mistakes. I don't think I backstabbed once, but I had, I had kept my symbols of death up, kept my Nightblade up, so very minor mistakes. And, you know, yeah, so I think that's that. So usually I do around like 220k damage or DPS, but then it just slowly drops to like 200. If you look at my gear here, I'm actually 849. Luckily I got a legendary ring, but yeah, those are the current problems with Subtlety, is that you eventually run out of your Shadow Dance charges, and then you have that downtime where you're just waiting for it to recharge. So hopefully with the buffs to 15% to Eviscerate, 15% to Nightblade, that will really help out our single target damage. But right now, I wouldn't recommend playing subtlety in a raid environment. It's just, yeah, just because I think outlaw is just better overall. It does a way better AOE, and single target you should be, it's up there still, compared to subtlety where you have to play perfectly. So yeah, if you're like an average raider, you just want to get into heroics, mythics, I would say stick to outlaw or assassination. For subtlety, usually historically subtlety has become usually becomes number one, or always passes assassination when the next raid tier comes out, or when it becomes like end game content, where it's like the last raid tier. It surpasses assassination for sure. But I still think outlaw will be number one. I think subtlety will become number two. Assassination, it depends on where Blizzard takes it. The current problems with assassination is this mastery, and you're running a bleed talent. You're running bleed talents, which is mastery is not does not affect uh, the bleeds. Assassination mastery. So I'm gonna make a second video on the two builds that I've been playing around with for assassination. But yeah, this concludes my subtlety overview. PvP, it's PvP subtlety is king, but in raiding environment, I would put it below uh, outlaw for sure, and maybe assassination, but it depends where Blizzard takes it. So if you like this content, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna leave a little video of a funny moment with subtlety when I was raiding. So anyways, take it easy, buddies.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my god, dude.